why don't you tell us the story that I've been waiting weeks and weeks to get on film?
Okay.
Hello everyone! It's Emily from Canada. So today I have someone really special with me here that I've known for quite a while.
My name is Holly. I am from Boston. I'm from the United States, and I've been in Korea for 4.5 years.
Hi Holly! Okay, so I feel like you have a really interesting case because Holly came here 4 years ago. Holly, you don't have to say exactly your age.
I came here not at age 25, but I came here at age 50. I had decided a couple years before I moved here that I wanted to come to Korea, but especially at my advanced age, it was not easy. I couldn't just move here. I needed to come here for a job, so I needed to think about what I could do for a job. I decided that I wanted to be an English teacher, so while I was still working in Boston full-time, I got my CELTA, and then I applied for jobs and I moved here. But it was hard. When I first got here, all the other teachers in my school, for the most part, were in their 20s. So it hasn't been easy, but I'm so glad that I did it, and I've made some really wonderful friends. For the most part, all my friends are women my own age who grew up in Daegu, which is where I live.
So also, interestingly enough, what was your line of work before you came here?
I used to analyze clinical cancer data.
Yes. Oh,
so it's very different from what I do now. Now I work at an English academy and teach elementary school kids. Yeah. It's a much happier job.
I think it's really interesting to see like how you had a full career going on. And then you kind of were like what made you first be into
first
Korea?
Let me just say that. Okay, I'll get to that in 1 second. So everybody thought I was crazy. I quit my job, I sold my house, I got rid of all of my stuff, and I said for about 6 months, I'm going to Korea. And nobody thought I would actually do it.
4 years later.
I did. Here I am. How I became interested in Korea was I broke my leg, but I actually broke both my legs. And so I was stuck on my sofa for a long time, and I was watching foreign films. First I did French and Indian, and I stumbled on a Korean film. And I really enjoyed it. So then I started watching some Korean films. This is around 2013. And then I started watching dramas. The very first drama I watched was Secret Garden. Not thinking I'm going to go live in a Korean drama. That's not it at all. But I was drawn to the culture and the tight family units and the language and the food. And so I decided that I would like to do this. And plus, I wanted to go on an adventure. And I was worried that if I waited too much longer, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I think like Korean culture particularly, there is something that's a little bit like exotic and romantic for foreigners when we watch and we start learning about it. It's kind of magnetic in a way. I say that a lot, but I definitely think like you're so not alone. So many people, when they start learning about Korean culture, they just get like entranced by it.
But I mean, I was realistic about it. It's like I have a life here. I've made a life here.
Yeah.
But it's a life like any other life. I don't live in a drama, and I don't see BTS on the street.
Right.
I haven't met, actors or anything like that.
Yeah.
I have a life here, and I'm very happy with my life here. I love it here, and I have good friends, but I have a job. I go to work like anyone else, and I have an apartment. It's a tiny apartment, but it's mine.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy here.
It's good, and yeah, I always am like, please don't leave Korea.
I have no plans to leave Korea. Yeah. No, I say that I'm going to stick around till they kick me out.
Do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, me too. Okay, cool. So why don't you tell us the story that I've been waiting weeks and weeks to get on film?
Okay. A few weeks back, I had lunch with some friends, and after that, I catch a bus, and then I'm on the bus, and I need to use the ladies' room. So I'm like, all right, I live right near Cebu bus terminal, so I go downstairs. Generally, when I'm at that bus stop, it's first thing, or train station, it's first thing in the morning, and there are no people there. Well, I went downstairs, and it was really crowded, because it was like 2 o'clock on a Saturday. And I start walking to the ladies' room, and I can hear a commotion behind me. And I just keep on walking. Now, I would like to say that I have short hair. Not a lot of people have short hair in Korea.
That's not true. So many of the like ajumas
no,
have short hair.
No, they don't. They all have that same ajuma perm.
But it's short.
Okay, fine. Okay, so
yours is shorter again.
Mine is super short.
Yeah.
But on that particular day, I looked extra girly. I had
You were
big earrings on. I had a turquoise scarf. I was carrying a big blue handbag. I thought I was looking pretty good. There's a commotion behind me. People are yelling and screaming, and I've got to pee. I go into the ladies' room, and still I can hear this yelling behind me. And I go into the stall, and I lock the door, and I'm getting ready to drop trow. Somebody starts banging on my door. Ajashi! Ajashi! Banging on the door. I'm like, oh my God. They're yelling at me. Ajashi means mister. Banging on the door. I almost had a heart attack. So I'm like, okay, zip up my pants.
But
now,
you still have to pee, right?
I do have to pee, still. Okay, now I should say that I've been here for a while, so I can speak some Korean. I speak mostly to young children all week, so I speak at a very low level of respect generally.
Yeah.
So I default 100% to English. I can't think of
Because you're so
because
flustered.
I'm so flustered. The lady scared me to death. Granny, the bathroom police banging on the door. I can't think of a single Korean word. Nothing. Like afterwards, I was like, yeah, hajima. No, I didn't say that. I can't say anything. I can't think of anything. So she's banging on the door. I open the door far enough so that I can put my face in it. Now I have a mask on, but still. The only word I could think of was ajima, which is a lady of a certain age.
Yeah, married lady is actually what it means.
But I'm not married.
Yeah.
Anyway, I literally was banging on my chest.
Ah!
Ajima!
Oh!
And her eyes were like... Now, she can't speak any English, but she can say sorry, because she starts saying, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, slam. And I had to pee.
Where'd you pee?
Sometimes it's not so easy, but in this case, it makes for a funny story.
Yeah.
Just don't call me Ajashi.
Yeah. Ajuma, ajoshi. Ajoshi, man. Ajuma, woman. Another funny story I have of yours.
Okay, go ahead.
She came up to Pyeongtaek. We went to PPO. We went there, and we were just like looking around. And then we were walking through some clothing stores, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cute." And then she goes, "Yeah, but they don't have it in jumbo size."
Everything's in single size. Like, what is it called? When there's just one size?
You mean like
Maybe it's just one size, but it's not my size.
free size? Free size. Yeah, there's free size. Free size is like it only comes in one size. And if you have like a Korean petite body, then free size is more than okay.
Great.
But
yeah, I'm like Viking breeding stock, so it's not my size.
I wouldn't refer to you as jumbo, but in Korea, like
sure,
like at home, I'm a small. I'm a large here. And same with like, even sometimes this is funny too. My husband will be like, "Wow, your butt's so big," to me. He says I have a big butt, and I'm like, "It's small back home. Like this is a small one." I feel large and in charge here. I do. I feel huge. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun meeting Holly today. And next time she comes up to visit me, I'm going to make her do another video again.
Awesome.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.
Annyeong.
Bye!
See you later. Bye bye.